Hello, McFluffy52 here, back with some more Outlaws of Thunder Junction action. Today we are playing Boros, but not quite like everybody else, because we're trying to focus a bit more on life gain, so we can race down opponents, and we're playing a bit more interaction, and we're not playing Swift Spear. I feel like I've kind of discovered that I don't really like playing Swift Spear in this standard. I don't know why, but I feel like Play with Fire here, kind of replacing Swift Spear in some of the common Boros, prowess, Boros, heroic decks is going to actually be quite helpful here, because that additional scry 1 on turn, whatever turn it is, if you play this turn 1, might help you set up better turns. It's removal, so if something's in the way, you can get rid of it. Just interaction, I think it's going to be more useful than Swift Spear, so we'll go ahead and see if that leads to be true. We are playing some Lightning Helix for the life gain. Again, I was talking about life gain. One of the big cards that we're playing as well is Blessed Defiance, because it gives target creature +2/+0 and gains lifelink until end of turn. I know Ashlizzle, a popular Magic creator, a very good Magic creator, made a Boros heroic deck and found a ton of success, but they were not playing any of these Blessed Defiance, which sees play in the more common Boros heroic decks. I want to see just how good Blessed Defiance is in these heroic decks, and I think it might be pretty fun to play, just because giving your massive double striking Illuminator Virtuoso lifelink seems like a recipe to set you up for some fun turns. Anyways, we're playing a bunch of pretty normal cards. We'll get into them as we play. Let's hop into some games. Okay, I don't think we should keep this. These Homestead Courages plus the Illuminator Virtuoso is really good, but we're playing very few lands. This deck is heavily based off of Ashlizzle's deck, and Ashlizzle's deck, 18 lands. Playing 18 lands, so definitely want to see 2 lands, and if there's 2 lands, it might be good. Might plot the show-off depending on what everything is going on. It looks like our opponent is playing Jeskai Control. Has a deck that has seen some struggles. We won't plot the show-off. We'll just play Illuminator Virtuoso, because we got the Homestead Courage, which works ridiculously well with the Virtuoso, because you can discard it. Okay, yeah, this is kind of criminal, I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of sorry. Yeah, we prefer the Monstrous Rage, I think. Play a land for turn. We'll go ahead and do this. And then this last Monstrous Rage, I think, should be lethal. We don't need another Slickshot. So actually, I should have discarded the Courage. It's my bad. Fine. And that should be a turn 3 win, assuming our opponent doesn't have a removal spell. I mean, they can probably get rid of the Kumano. We don't really need another land. Whoops. I say this, but I go for lethal. Okay. If they have a lockdown, that would be kind of brutal, but we do have the show-off into Homestead, so we still could win as long as they don't hold up counter spell. Yeah, that's a good game. That's Boros. Well, that was a game. We finished our first game before I sometimes finish the deck text for other decks. Like, what the heck? Virtuoso kind of busted. Play the Plains. Leave our opponent in suspense of what we're actually doing. I feel like I should play the Virtuoso because I see the Homestead Courages and they're just actually ridiculously good with it. And we also have Ancestral Anger to give it... Oh, we're playing combo deck. Okay, cool. Opponent's probably playing the Rakdos joins up combo deck, so we just need to kill them before turn 4. Should be easy. I'm joking, but I'm also not. We can probably finish off our opponent. Yep, there's Rakdos joins up. Ding ding ding, I was correct. But yeah, if you enjoy these kinds of videos, consider subscribing. Trying to keep on making standard videos, but unless Slickshot Show-Off makes an exit in best of one, my goodness, this playing anything else gets very difficult. Land, we like that. Yeah, the Blessed Defiance is not as good. Lauren's Escape, now we can hold up. Wow. Another Ancestral Anger is kind of gross, but yeah, that happens. Knife. We can discard the other Homestead Courage if we want. Okay, we don't need 2 Lauren Escapes, maybe. But if they have a temporary lockdown, it's fine. This goes in the graveyard. It gets value out of being in the graveyard. I don't think we have lethal here, technically. These giving Vigilance is also kind of criminal. So now that I think about it, why would... Well, no, I've seen some of these combo lists with I mean, we could play it with removal. I think we're just going to count on the fact that we're going to get another turn here to kill our opponent. I'm not going to Lauren's Escape until their end step and them being tapped out, hopefully. But yeah, this card seems like a design mistake. Particularly for, like, I could see it being justified in other formats, but it's so pushed for standard. I think it was the first rare I talked about in the set review. It was like, yeah, this card's gonna see play, and holy crap. I think anyone could have predicted that, to be honest, but the degree of which it sees play is kind of criminal. Alright, we'll play an Ancestral Anger. We'll connive away the second Ancestral Anger. This big brain, because then we get a bigger pump. Let's go. Oh my god. Yo, this is wrong. It's so wrong. You're wrong for this, Wizards. You are wrong for this. Double striking 10-10 or 10-7. Alright, just cast your card. Unless you have removal, this is going all the way. Yep. Alright, this is the first, like, questionable hand we've gotten. It's like, it can do some things eventually, yeah. We don't have any protection, so we might as well run it out. Yeah, especially against mono black. If I knew they were playing mono black, I would have probably tried to play this a little differently, but it's fine. Please do not have Liliana. If you have Liliana, I'm going to be so sad. We need the card draw, I think, so I'm going to play it face down for the turn. If they have Liliana, I will be genuinely sad. Cut down would also be kind of bad, but it is what it is. I will play Ancestral Anger on it. Let's see if we can bait out something, maybe. Alright, the rest of this can be cast whenever. I think we have to play a little bit slow for the sake of our opponent potentially doing something here. And just take the damage and plot the bird. I could hold up like a pump spell to protect our face down card, but now our opponent's probably going to kill the Slickshot as soon as we cast it, but that means we can flip up, probably cast some spells on this, flip it face up, so we can discount it by casting a bunch of our spells here, and might actually be able to lethal with the Codebreaker. Wow. You're just gonna let us... Okay, good game. This is pretty much lethal if I know my stats right. Okay, no, I don't know my stats at all. Lethal next turn. Close. What's the difference? It's good enough for government work. That's crazy. I don't need creatures. Disgusting. This deck is disgusting. Alright, this hand is questionable, but it could also be just kept, because Illuminator Virtuoso means we connive into whatever the hell we want. It also is redundant if our opponent's playing removal. They have Ashiok Avatar in these sleeves. They might be like a Dimir player. Boom! Just absolutely soul read them. Darkslake Shores off the top. That's that's too funny. What do I want to play? Illuminator Virtuoso, because it will eat removal, and then we can play the Codebreaker later on to refuel up if the opponent is playing a ton of removal. Okay. Problem is Slickshot Show-Off's gonna eat like removal if I play it out now. We play the Virtuoso, I just don't think it's going to get through whatever they slam this next turn, because they could slam a 2/4 Death Toucher. What is it called? It's a vampire. Codebreaker. Let's just go in with Codebreaker. We're just not going to use Codebreaker to refuel. We'll gain 5. Can't hurt. Can't hurt to gain 5. Still have to diversifies our threats some. Okay. I was honestly kind of expecting them to do some kind of thing here, but fair enough. They could Sweeper. I don't want to really run out any sort of spells onto anything yet, I don't think. We might be able to kill with our Illuminator Virtuoso this turn though. I'll discard. Don't really need 2 of them in hand, I don't think. Bivouac is a tap creature land. So if they sweep this next turn, they might die this turn though if I keep up with what I'm doing. Do we want the creature land or something to trigger Slickshot? It's 1 less. 8 plus 4. It's 12. And then we can surprise them with a Kumano if they choose to try and test their luck. Okay, we win, I think. I wish this untapped. That would have been crazy. Yeah, you can't kill the Virtuoso. It's vigilant because Homestead Courage is a mistake. I don't have no idea if this is lethal, but I'm going to cast the spell now that they're out of juice. Oh, it's so close. 38 life. 38 to 1. Void Rend. Alright, good game. Mono to the face.
I still have much to learn. Keep watch for intruders.
No, yeah, it doesn't matter. 5-0. What a crime. Well, this deck is is something I'm not going to do any more games because I think the gameplay is a bit redundant at this point. This is my take on the Boros, heroic Boros prowess deck. I think a bit of life gain between Blessed Defiance being a pump spell and like the helixes, I think is going to help you in those more aggro, like head-to-head rushing down your opponent matchups. But the deck is still pretty lethal as is. Going 5-0 is pretty good. Granted, I think we got a bit lucky sometimes, but still, like, I think a lot of our hands had the potential to recover from like sweepers and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't know what to say. This deck is wild. Standard is in a strange spot. This deck is one of the reasons that this deck and other like Slickshot Show-Off decks are kind of one of the reasons I struggle to come up with anything, because this deck consistently wins like turn 3, turn 4, turn 5, and it can be hard to slow down the game enough when your opponent just wins turn 3 with Slickshot Show-Off. So, or Illuminator Virtuoso. Illuminator Virtuoso, like, we won several games just because of this card. He wasn't even Slickshot half the time. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments below, and if there's any decks that you have brewed up to beat this. I have a plan to try and brew a deck to kind of counteract or counter this style of deck, and we'll see how it goes. Hopefully I'll have it to post the following day. Anyways, have a nice morning, evening, night, afternoon, whenever and wherever you're watching. Ciao.